episode of Crucible and Cognac. It has been a little bit of time since I have done one of these episodes, and so I decided it's time to do that again because I have a guest that I'm very excited to speak to tonight and jam some KeyForge with and get to know a little bit better. And tonight we have Wilki on the TCO scene, but you may know on Discord as not2night. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Really glad to be here.
Yes, it's really exciting to have you. And I'm excited that you did bring the deck that you did because it's one of the things I wanted to talk about is a topic that you use this deck for, which we'll get into a little bit later. So before we go any further, why don't you just talk about your deck for us, Wilki?
Okay, so my deck, it's actually my favorite deck and my first choice for any adaptive event. It's not my best deck, but it's definitely my favorite. And I like it. It's not so intimidating to play. And I don't mean intimidating to play against, I mean intimidating to play with. Because when I play with my best deck, I always, and I lose, I always feel like I failed it.
That's great. Yeah, I like the cards in this deck. It's I can see why it's very appealing for sure.
And this deck, on the other hand, if you lose with it, oh, it has no amber control, so it's like, duh.
Mm,
And
the
yeah.
classic AoA syndrome.
Yeah, and this is the thing that jumps at you when you look at the deck list, that it has almost no amber control, but it's deceptively strong. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, it has all these little. It has the Ganger Knot combo.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yes.
but it's not all. It has all these other little synergies, and it's a very efficient deck. So it's like, you know, it, it high rolls every game.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm excited to see this. For me today, I'm playing, I guess this has become my new favorite deck that I've been putting in time getting to know. It is on paper my strongest mass mutations deck, and it's got a triple rad penny, which when that card was spoiled, I think I was the most excited about it. I just absolutely love the art of rad penny. So, more so to the point that I ended up buying a playmat of that, even though I vowed I would never buy a playmat again because you acquire so many through playing tournaments. But I do really like this deck. The more I play it, I find there's really interesting combinations and interactions between the cards that I didn't think of at first. So as I keep playing it, I find more and more, which I really like. And it actually has a really strong mutant theme, which is something I was interested in seeing in um, mass mutations. And not to mention, my causal loop happens to have a bonus icon of a capture ember, so I can just continuously capture. This is a very ember control heavy deck, so
Oh,
literally the complete opposite of your deck.
good to know about the causal loop.
Yes, since you don't have access to that, I figure I'd tell you. I can't remember what the other two are. I think one's a damage pip, and the other one is also a capture icon on Professor Torado. So, without further ado, let's jump right into the game. So, what would you say you're most known for? Like, like within not only the world of KeyForge, but maybe outside of the world of KeyForge.
I don't know. I don't know. It's
Well, okay, how about just tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, what would you like people to know about yourself? Maybe in context to KeyForge, outside of KeyForge, whichever makes the most sense for you.
Oh, I've always been a card player, or just, I've always enjoyed games, of all kinds, actually, but card games the most. my first card game was Magic the Gathering, uh,
Mhm.
but I didn't enjoy the trading aspect of it. Um, I'm I like the competitiveness of games. Mm, I'm really good at it. I I no, I once got a job because I won at board games.
Oh,
Actually,
wow. What was the job? Just being selling board games or because you could represent them well, or
no. Actually, it was a job as an assistant to financial director of
Oh,
of
wow.
a big company because he heard from a friend that was part of my gaming circle that oh, she was telling him that on a party we played games and he asked how it was and she said, oh, as usual, we play some games and Katarzyna always wins. And he said, oh, I want to hire that person.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah, it's a great story, actually, and the best job I've ever had.
Do you still have that job?
No, unfortunately not.
Oh, okay.
The company moved away from my city, and
Oh, fair enough. So why don't you, kick things off with us here? Did you get the dream draw you're looking for?
it's pretty good.
Okay, yeah, mine's not too bad.
Okay, so let's start with the. Oh, my deck has actually a couple of turn one oppressive plays.
Interesting.
Yeah, how about that?
Oh, that makes me wanna switch what I wanna do.
That's great, actually. That's what it's supposed to do.
Okay, I'm gonna have to pray here. It's time to pray. Oh, the prayer was answered.
Oh,
So I played Lethalogica. I did not have any removal. I played Lethalogica because I actually have a lot of removal in Logos, and I happened to come across this. So there you go.
but
How's that for RNG?
it would have been so much better later on, right?
It would, but my deck cycles pretty quick, so I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. This is what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Let's just do some cycling. This is all bad news for me. I see how your deck is very very strong now.
Yes, and you can't really tell that from the list, right?
No, I just have to give you Ember here, unfortunately, and hope for the best later on.
Yeah, I found that out. I actually put this deck also on Triad sets, and it never gets banned. Never, like literally never. And it
Really?
wins all its games.
That is very interesting.
But it might change after this podcast.
People may start realizing the goods.
Yeah.
Wow, you have all the witches out right now. It's a witch deck. Oof. Oh no. When things go from bad to worse.
Yes, that's how it goes. And I found out that you really don't have to have amber control with such high efficiency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to do some inefficient plays here.
I'm sure.
So, what got you into KeyForge, just out of curiosity? Like, how did it become on your radar?
So it was in the summer of 2018, and I was playing with my one of my gaming nerd friends, and we were playing Codex, and we were remarking how it has all these broken cards, like almost early Magic, and he said, "Oh, and by the way, have you heard that Richard Garfield has created a new game, and it's this unique Dex game, and it's this and this," and I was immediately like, "What?"
Mm-hmm.
It was just, it was exactly what I wanted. I never enjoyed this trading aspect of Magic, and I started to watch some YouTube videos and do some research, and I knew from then that I wanted to play it. So I started playing
Mm,
in November 2018, and I must say I just stopped. I almost stopped playing other games totally. Like I
me
only
too.
I only ever play like family, very light games like code names or something like this with non-gaming
Mm-hmm.
friends, because with other people I just want to play KeyForge.
I'm with you on that. It's definitely took over my life as well in the same way. Like I played Magic, and then I didn't like playing Magic anymore because the I didn't like the way like the net decking happened. So I ended up going over to playing Pokemon, which is all net decking, but it felt a little bit more fair for some reason. I think it's the turn-based play, which is similar to Keyforge, not like a action reaction sort of thing. So it had that like there was less broken combos, I would say. And then from there, I kind of just went, oof, you're hitting me where it hurts. And then from there, I kind of just went into discovering Keyforge because I was listening to Wasi as he talks about like Pokemon a lot. He's very big into the Pokemon scene, but he kept talking about Keyforge, and that got me like to check out the game. Oh my goodness, the troubles you have caused me. Is this like this deck I've noticed so far, it has an issue with board clears at times, and you have this pesky witch here that is just the worst. It's amazing
The
how
Graphkeeper,
Amber Control. Yeah, no, the Dusk Witch
the
is very
Dusk
the
Witch.
elusive factor is really hurting me right now. Okay, let's try and plan for the future a little bit. Well, that's not helpful, but also very helpful. And so what is your favorite card to play?
My favorite.
Yeah, you can approach it from like from it's fun to play or from competitive, or tell me both if you have an answer to both aspects of that.
So, competitively, I really enjoy the Time Traveler, and it's also
Mm.
a very, very nice fun card to play, obviously.
Hmm.
My actually favorite card I don't have any competitive deck with it, so I rather play it casually. But it's Mimicry.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And
Great card.
yeah, and for me, it's like, every game is a different adventure with this card because you have the deck, but you know what every card does every turn. And with Mimicry, it's just, unlimited potential, and you never know what it's gonna be.
Right. That's very cool. I'm curious what you're going to do here to make me regret my decisions. Oh no. Do you say you call Untamed in this house, in this deck, much more than any other house?
No, definitely
Oh,
it's
this is.
the Brobnar. But
Ah,
it
okay.
was such, I had these two witches and you can't deal with them. So,
Yeah, that is accurate. Oh, my dear. This is awful.
yeah, definitely the most flashy thing is the Gangernot combo here. And in some games, uh, the opponent deals with it and it comes back again online. So, yeah.
You're just literally doing everything. Like this deck actually is countering my deck aggressively. Like if you saw my hand right now, which you will see, it literally is you're completely countering everything I'm trying to do right now.
I know
I
it's
almost just want to concede and go on to the next game. It's so
definitely
bad.
you can change the
Oh,
deck.
I'm not going to change the deck because I know to be more careful now. But you'll see. Wait till you see this. So this is my hand. So I get to basically steal an ember and give you an ember. So I'm generating, but I'm also not stopping you at the same time. Do you see this problem I have here? Bone knithing does not help me right now because I do not want to go any higher. Because I bet you're holding a cutthroat research. I'd bet money on it. I'm very impressed with how hard your deck countered mine, and I do like seeing that. But there's also that cool combo. I don't know if you noticed that. Did you see that? What happened there is I knew your Belgium Avalanche was going to go and wipe my pennies back into my deck.
Yeah, but
You're like, I
I'm
don't
not
care.
worried. Yeah, exactly, exactly. I don't know. My deck cares about annihilation. It hates
Mm,
annihilation ritual, infernus, all
right.
the things that
Purge cards.
remove the discard, because I want to play my cards again and again. Um,
Hmm.
Maybe it's not very clear from this game, but
We'll get another one in though, and we'll see. I need some redemption. So
okay.
what is your favorite house in KeyForge? Is there one you just love to play, or one that you see very often that you've grown to love?
Oh,
Or is it basically set by set that always changes?
I actually, my favorite house, it's no surprise to anybody, it's Logos.
Hmm.
Because it's very efficient. I really like the fast, efficient decks. So yeah, but actually, from the flavor perspective, my absolutely favorite house is Star Alliance, because I really like the sci-fi series like Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Firefly. They are absolutely my favorite shows. So yeah, I gotta love this.
Oh, that's great.
And also, it's this house cheating that is the theme of this house is also great. Um,
I should have gone a different route. I realized that is there's no point in me playing my last card. That's it. I was hoping I misjudged your desk switch. Okay, we got to go on to the next game. I
okay.
need redemption.
Okay.
Wilki, I need redemption. I'm sorry. This is too oppressive. Okay.
Sure.
So
Sure.
do you have like a really memorable KeyForge play, like something you did that you look back on and just are always like, wow, that was amazing?
Actually, yeah, maybe. It was in the early days. I was losing a game where the opponent had the sting and some key cheats, and I was in the situation that he had 2 keys and a ton of amber and has already sacked the sting, and I had no way to stop them. But they didn't deal with my Witch of the Eye. And actually, I played Mimicry to get some amber generation. Not much, but enough, like, Relentless Whispers or something. And then I reaped with Witch of the Eye and used their key charge for the win. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So you just played Mimicry twice.
Yeah. And,
that's really
I
cool.
felt like I won with their cards. So.
Right. Yeah, that's always a good feeling.
So I'm going to keep this.
Oh, that means you have a Witch of the Eye again, or a Witch of
No, it will be a completely different.
You know what I
game.
realized last game? You didn't play a single Logos card the entire game.
Yes, that's what I mean. It will be a totally different game.
This deck, you're just showing all the sides of it.
Yes, and that's why it's a good adaptive deck, because it doesn't have this one line. And, I totally agree when people say that in the adaptive, you just spend the first game showing the other people how to win with your deck. And I feel that with this deck, this is totally not true. Because, I'm showing them, like 1/10 of the deck potential, and it's a lot in the little place.
That makes sense, yeah. And since you're talking about adaptive, you wrote an article about the format fast adaptive, or I guess it's short adaptive is another way of people talk about it, where it's only a single game version of adaptive. I loved it. I read it and it was right on the money with some of my thoughts. What made you kind of decide to talk about this? Like, why do you like this so much?
Adaptive is very interesting format, because you not only play your deck, you have to play the opponent's deck, and while playing, you have to learn it and adapt. And I find it very interesting and fascinating. And adaptive short has this some good sides, like it's short, it's not this long tournament. Yeah.
Right.
But I actually prefer the normal adaptive. Have you ever done the prediction brackets, like with some high-level tournament? There are sometimes prediction brackets that you can predict how the tournament is gonna go and who will win.
I have not done that, no.
No. Um, because I'm sure that with the Shadow Worlds, there was this. Oh yeah, destroying me this game.
It's my turn now.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, this deck high rolls every game, but it has potential to low roll. Like yeah, I play my time traveler and nothing comes out of it.
So anyways, you're saying about the adaptive that there's the prediction brackets and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah. So I actually noticed that it's very hard to predict the matches from just deck lists, and I've done
Mm,
this many times, and it's really hard. And to the best of my knowledge, nobody does this well. Like there are people that won Vault Tours twice, but nobody did the prediction brackets right twice.
okay.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So the short adaptive is like this, predicting what is the winning deck in the matchup from just lists alone. And like for example, my list is very deceptive. Um, I just have to do this.
Works for me.
I know. And my deck hates it. My deck actually hates playing Howard's End, especially if I'm not going to follow this with the Gengar Knot combo. It feels bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So have you ever played?
So I want to finish about this.
Sure, go for it. Go for it.
I feel that the short adaptive is actually more. Uh, how to say this?
It's
Like
more
more
challenging.
luck, more luck based than the normal adaptive, uh,
Okay.
uh, because mm, like I've heard a great thought about chess actually. Like chess has some luck involved, because if you don't have the mental power to process all the possible consequences of your decisions, it's actually not skill, it's luck, because you just yeah, if you can predict what will happen because of the decisions you are taking, it's skill. But if you can't
Right.
do this, if you're just moving the pieces, then it's luck. So actually think that short adaptive is more luck based than uh, the normal adaptive.
Interesting. Yeah, I could see that because because I when anytime you're playing, I think just a best of one game, luck is a strong factor. Where when you're playing a best of three, luck is obviously still a factor in RNG, but because you're playing a multitude of games, more likely than not, luck isn't going to be there every single game, and skill will have to start taking form.
Yes, yeah, it's definitely what I've.
Uh oh, and it begins. Good thing is you had to use your creature once. And so, have you ever played short adaptive with sealed before?
No, no, actually not. I really wish I did.
It's so we've played it in our community, and prior to COVID, it was like our main way. Like we would only play sealed that way. We really wouldn't do it any other way. And Oh, it, just when I thought I was ahead, and it really kind of changed the way we played a lot of things actually as a result. It was a very fun way to play because, sometimes if you're playing single deck sealed, you can have those, feel bad moments because you didn't end up, getting anything good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, you open those really like, the decks are just not good, and there's nothing you can do about it, but if you know you have a deck that's not strong and you have every intention of not playing it going into a game, it makes it very interesting because 'cause you're bidding only on houses, and we
Mhm.
even did it, I think, so that when you get the deck, you don't know what's in the deck, like, you don't get to look at the deck list, you have to play blind everything you draw, so you know what's in the deck the person's playing against you, you don't know what's in the deck you're playing, and they know, so it's like you're playing almost with the understanding of what they have, but not under the understanding of what you have, and it makes it very interesting.
I definitely must try this. Like, uh, I love playing blind.
It's fun.
Yeah. Uh, one of my favorite formats is the speed sigil. It's you can only play it at fall tours. It just you play one game, and if you win, you get 10 amber shards, and if not, you get 3. So it's a good excuse to buy more decks and play many
Oh, I've never
games.
heard of this before.
Yeah, I just love it, and I played many games of it just blind, like no mulligans, just shuffle the decks and
And what you
don't
get's
look
what
at
you
them.
get.
Yeah, and it was just pure fun. Yeah, like
Mhm.
it takes the a lot of competitive aspect out of it, and
That's interesting.
it's just fun.
So, is there anything like, if you had the power to, is there anything in KeyForge that you would like to change? Like, if you could change an aspect of the game or something that's done, is there anything that
Yeah.
you would like to change?
Yes, actually, there is. Yeah, I would make them not to print bad cards. I think this KeyForge is actually the game that could totally get away with not having no bad cards. Like I
You
I
just
know that some cards would be better than others. I understand this is unavoidable, but there really wouldn't have to be bad cards. I mean
hmm,
there are not many of them. Yeah, like almost everybody agrees that Bumblebird doesn't have to be alpha, and it really doesn't, right? It would be
yeah,
so much
it's
cooler. Like
I
everybody
agree.
loved Kota because there are so many, the swingy, uh, overpowered plays, and
Mhm.
they are great. I love this about Keyforge, and yeah. And I don't mean cards like Bad Penny. Bad Penny has its uses. It's nice. It's fun. I don't mean that. I mean the Bumblebirds, the Garganti Scrappers,
Yes.
the
It seems
things
like
that are
alpha. You're
awful.
talking of a lot of alpha from what I'm hearing here.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. They come to my mind first.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm with you on Bumblebird. I think it's the most gorgeous art in the game is on Bumblebird, and so it's just really sad that you don't get to utilize it in that regard. Makes me very sad. So, you say bad cards, but I think that's also a subjective phrase. 'Cause I'm pretty sure for every person that hates a card, there's someone who loves the card, the same card.
No, who loves Sophie though? Or like Ratchet Doll?
Yeah,
Come
that's
on.
okay, fair. You're right. I actually wonder what's the thought process of including cards like that in the game. Do you know what I
I don't
mean?
know. I don't know. I once asked on the Crucible stream, and they said that every card has some uses, but yeah.
You're wondering what those are.
Yeah, exactly. And I definitely wouldn't make them better by just putting amber pips on them, because that's a totally wrong path. But yeah.
No, I see what you're saying. That makes sense. Not my Torado. And
Hmm.
have you figured out the type of player you are, like the type of player you want to be in it, like KeyForge? Are you drawn to a certain thing?
Yeah, definitely. I am, if I can use the magic terminology, I am the suicide red player.
So you
And
like Brobnar a lot.
no, not actually. No, because I don't mean red like Brobnar. I mean like this
Okay.
deck that I'm playing. It has this
Right.
one strategy that it wants to run and outrun the opponent. It's a very tempo play, and it doesn't have a backup plan because it has no ember control, as I said.
Mm,
So if I don't win fast, it means I don't win.
right.
And it doesn't have to be Brobnar. In fact, it very rarely is Brobnar. It can be.
Okay.
In this deck, the only element of it is the Gangernot combo.
Right. Have you noticed we've gone to a very grindy game out of nowhere?
Turn 6. Turn 6 I wouldn't call a grindy game, but
No, just the way we're playing right now. Like it's very just keeping each other off of check.
yeah. Okay.
And so if someone was getting into the game for the first time or are newcomers to the game, what advice would you give them? Like what do you think is like the best thing to consider when playing KeyForge as a new player?
Hmm. Actually, I'm becoming more and more of the opinion that KeyForge is very much like chess, and um, it requires a lot of skill.
Mhm.
So I would say don't be discouraged by losing a lot
Mhm. And I think
in
it
the
also
beginning.
has yes, 100% because this is every deck you have, you the first time you play it, it's gonna feel very, you're gonna feel confused, you're gonna feel overwhelmed, and it's because you need to learn it and play it a bunch of times and see things coming together repetitively and discovering stuff. Because I mean, I think it's an undisputed statement that KeyForge is all about the discovery of things. So my question with that in mind is you and your never-ending drummer knots. The thing that I have in mind with that is, like new players and KeyForge, I think it also has a side that I've been thinking about a lot more is that if you just decide to play the game and pick it up and you buy random decks, you could open up really bad decks and think the game isn't very good. Like if one's really good and one's really bad, you're just kind of be like, oh, this isn't that great. Have you noticed that at all?
Uh, yes, and that's why I don't like playing sealed match. I have a tendency to get very bad decks. I and that's why I know that actually skill is very important in
Mm,
KeyForge, because with these bad decks I can still go like to 2 or 3-2, and I have some chains on really really bad decks. So
mm,
I know, but I don't like the feel, to play with these bad decks, and that's why I like the speed sigil more, because you open the deck, and if it's bad, you play this one game, and okay, you lose it. So then you open another deck, and it's a better feeling.
Could you talk about Speed Siege a little bit more? I don't think I fully understand the tournament.
Uh, this is like, you buy a new deck, you open it, and you play.
Oh,
And
I see.
that's
Okay.
it. And that's it. You just find the opponent, and it's only organized at the Vault Wars because the price for this
Right.
is in Amber
Okay,
shards. Yeah.
that's really cool.
So what am I doing? Oh, I am. Yeah.
You're pulling off your combo over and over.
Yes. Exactly. So let's sacrifice this and have that.
So what kind of tokens do you use when you play? Are you one to have really like you customize your tokens or acquire something that's unique?
No, actually not. I really like the cardboard feel. I like that it's very natural material and environment friendly, and they are very clear. So I use the tokens from the starter set, and I enjoy them. Uh,
Hmm.
but I actually got a present for my birthday from my husband, and it's a set of real amber, real polished pieces of amber, and
Oh wow.
this is like, having a jewelry to play with, and I love them. They are also natural and beautiful, and they catch the light. This was an amazing gift.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's such a good gift.
So apart from the amber, I also use the Vault Tour metal keys.
Mm,
I like the sound, they make.
me too. Yeah, when you flip them, it's satisfying just on the audio
Yeah,
experience alone.
sound. They are definitely great. But the rest of the tokens I have from the starter set, and I don't feel the need to replace them.
Mm.
You?
I have a combination of strategic dino tokens and the metal keys like you have, and then I actually have enough ember from the prize support ember, the acrylic one that was given out at for like the chain bounds and stuff. When I was at the Grand Championships, I came second in a sealed tournament, only losing to a deck that had I think it was triple drummer, not triple ganger, with a I know it was no, it was like double. It was triple of one and double of the other. I can't remember which one, the combination, but it also had a grump buggy with a ton of big creatures. It was a silly deck, and it had like a pit lord with, like it was a really
Yeah.
crazy deck, and he won the whole thing. But I only lost to him, and I managed to get a ton. Like I think it was like 18 pieces of those ember from that. So I just moved to it. I love the feel of it. Like I don't see anyone else having it because you have to spend a ton of shards to acquire it, or
Hmm.
yeah, so it's my favorite. I like a combination of different things, but I've become good buddies with Strategic Dino, and this was like after I ordered his custom printed tokens, which is mainly just wards, enrage, and damage pips.
Yeah, definitely. This is a cool aspect of the game that you can
Mhm.
customize it, and this is nice. And actually, at Voltor, it was, everybody had some different tokens. It's nice.
The only tokens I don't like is when people use like beads that have they're just
Mhm.
colors, and then they have like a case with 10 different colored beads in it, and it's like I'm supposed to keep track of what each one represents.
Right,
I find that frustrating.
right. It says you disconnected.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. Maybe try to refresh. I'm still in the game, so.
Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, yeah, I was wondering what's going on there. No, not my beautiful Titan engineer. Okay, let's see if I can pull this off here. Your Drummernaut's gone. Okay, that makes my decision easy. You probably have a regrowth knowing you. Um,
Nope, my tour
I'm
draws
sitting here wondering what's going on, and you're
currently
doing
in
the
the
same thing.
discard. But because this deck has help from future self, you can never be sure if I'm not going to play the same cards again.
I guess that is very true. You could just cycle into them and make everything challenging.
Oh God, one more.
I know that's I actually have every opportunity to do it, and I don't want to. Was Cutthroat Research Steel 2?
Yes.
An enemy creature. Oh, you shut down all my things.
And thanks to Forge compiler, you will have worded red pennies.
Okay, let's go way up. So if you do still, it doesn't matter. I wish I could use my font of the eye right now. Yeah, I don't want warded red pennies. That's no good. Well, turn 7, we finally have a KeyForged.
Okay,
And
so I actually do have the
Cutthroat.
cutthroat.
Yeah, I had a feeling you did. That's why I went way up. So I have a question for you. What would you consider your greatest KeyForge achievement?
Oh, definitely the Shadow Worlds top 16 finish in the adaptive seed. Definitely, it was an online event, but the competition was really high, and the players were all excellent, and yeah, some of the best games I've ever played.
Interesting. Okay. Wow.
I've have also top 16 World Tour in Krakow and top 8 Grand Championships Poland.
Quite the resume.
Yeah, it is. And but after the Shadow Worlds finish, I got invited on the team I'm currently in. And I'm really happy about that. It's the Can't Touch These.
I love that name.
Yeah. And they are great guys and gals. So I knew them from the Vault Tour and from the championships. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. All right, so let's take advantage of some things I have here.
I've actually really enjoy testing with the team. We did a lot of testing for Kota. Because we took part in the Kota 5.
Right, yeah, I'm playing that too. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we finished 17th. Which is great and a bummer at the same time.
For sure, yeah.
But the training was fantastic. And actually, it was very eye-opening because when we tested the matchups, sometimes we started from something like, I was losing like 2-4, when suddenly something clicked and I knew what lines to take against this deck, and I suddenly 8-2.
That's really cool.
Yeah. That's how I know, there is a lot of skill in KeyForge.
Oh, for sure.
So you are rushing.
Excuse me. It's time to try and salvage a little bit of my dignity.
Oh my god. This is definitely the weak spot of this deck. Yeah, but every good adaptive deck should have a weak spot.
It's
So,
true, yeah, and then
yeah.
because then you'll recognize what the other deck has that is like, "Oh, I can't deal with this." So you go, "I'm just not gonna play my deck now."
Yeah, and also many people don't play decks with little ember control. Like, not at all. They see no ember control and they never play this deck. So they have absolutely no practice with such a deck, and
Mhm,
they have no idea. So they, even if they look at my list and see, oh, there's no ember control, they don't know how to put this into practice. And I don't mean, the top players in the world. Yeah, they can deal with that. But
with
there are a
yeah,
lot
I
of
see what you're
players
saying.
that can't, that just,
Mhm,
in the middle of the game they realize, oh no, I can't stop you. Yeah, and I say, yeah, right, you should have rushed from the start. Yeah.
yeah, that's actually really hard to identify sometimes. So that is a really good reason to have a deck like that.
That group think tank. Hmm.
It's honestly, it's the greatest thing against your deck, I realize. I'm like, "Oh, I'm
Definitely.
so grateful for this card right
Definitely.
now." I almost blew it up with the Death Quark, and then I realized, no, I think this one is gonna be putting in some work today. I find it interesting when you have things like mini group think tank and group think tank, and one stays and the other doesn't. I find that quite interesting. So, are you, what type of KeyForge, I guess, quote unquote, collector are you? Do you like to acquisition a lot of decks, or do you prefer just to have a couple decks and you get rid of it? Like, what is your main sense of collecting decks?
um Actually, I don't acquire mana decks. Certainly not on the secondary market. I just open the decks when I have a chance to play it. So, like in sealed events and in this speed sigil, we also do our own version of speed sigil with some of the local guys. Like, we open decks and we just play one game and have fun um,
Okay.
with it. So I have 99 decks today.
Oh, that's actually that's very good. That's not an unreasonable amount at all.
Yeah, definitely. Um, I consider my collection rather small, but I've played every deck, and yeah, I know which ones have the potential and which ones just not.
Are not gonna cut the mustard.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay.
So I bought some decks on the secondary market, but they were not the competitive decks, but rather the for fun
Collection?
things. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I told you this story of the double mimicry, and actually liked the opponent's deck with the sting and key cheats, and I was looking for such a deck for a long time and couldn't acquire it in the Kota days, but I actually bought a deck like that from the AoA. And it's
Mm.
even better because it has two glimmers and two
Oh,
regrowths
wow.
for the Chota and key charge. So it has also got punctuated equilibrium. So like I play the sting, I never sack it, and yeah.
That's pretty cool. I have a deck like that. I played, I think, in the first coat tournament where what was that one where you had to have the reversal coat tournament? Not the first one, but you remember the one where you'd play one round, you played together, you played your own decks, and the next round you gave your opponent your deck and you had to play theirs. The one where I think people were very confused of what that format was. I played a
Tesla.
Sting Chota
Yeah,
KeyCharge.
it's
Yeah, the
Tesla.
Tesla.
I love this format.
Me too.
Yeah.
I brought like a low SAS. Like it wasn't highly rated, but it was my first combo deck, and it had Chota, KeyCharge, Nepenthe Seed, and it used the Sting. And the idea is I just start forging. I never blow up the Sting basically, and I just forge. You get like the idea is get first
Yeah,
key or
yeah,
something and then go from there. It's a lot of fun.
this is an amazing deck, definitely. So I bought, and also for Kote, I bought a really low power, low SAS deck. We didn't end up using it after all, but it's a great reversal deck.
Mm. Not my Bruno.
You've got another one.
But this one's special to me.
Okay. Let's get rid of this font of the eye.
It's been putting in a lot of work, there's no question.
Definitely. Okay.
Uh-oh, now I'm in trouble. Well, that makes things a little bit more complicated. Okay, so let's go with logos here. Remove the stun. Gonna reap. What's this? Discard a card from your hand. Okay, getting rid of that card. All right. Then I'll play my fun causal loop. Don't need too many pinatas out there. You'll get to forge your next key. And I feel you're in a better position now.
Nice.
Not being able to play creatures is always a tricky one. I honestly, your Bilgam Avalanche is. I honestly wouldn't have played it if I were you. Well, because of my pennies, it just makes everything so easy. So you know for a fact that half of my let me see, is that seeming correct? Yeah, half of my draw pile are red pennies right now.
True.
But you're in a good position too. There's no question. So,
Yeah.
what I was wondering is when you play KeyForge, do you have like a way of testing decks? Like, do you have a certain way you go about it, or do you just like just play?
Hmm. I don't know. My competitive decks I just opened and it was immediately clear that they are, the heat. So I just play to practice them. I don't know. I don't buy from the secondary market the competitive decks, so I just don't test in this way.
Mm, okay. I really don't like your Taliga. It's always causing me trouble. Did you forget about the opportunist?
Yeah, definitely, but never
That card
mind.
has so much text, I always have that same issue. My redemption is not looking so good.
Yeah, it's like, I don't. The red pennies, like uh, in the beginning of the game, I wouldn't put Pilgrim, but
Now with Taliga, you don't
I
care.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
I think you're honestly, Taliga, I think, has gone up in stock because of all you have this one. I have the
I've
unfortunate situation of having to play creatures, which the thing is that your Taliga totally negates the rad pennies, which is such a cool thing. So
Yes,
yeah,
and
you have this
I'm
one.
also sitting on key charge, right? So
Ah,
it would have to take me way, way down and kill
mhm.
all my untamed to stop me
Yeah,
now.
I basically have to do this just to cycle.
Right, so you see, this is a very mean deck.
It's really
And
good. Yeah, it is. Like, you
no
don't even
amber
care.
control at all. No.
No, that is a very impressive deck. I really like
But
it. It's really fun. I
you
know
know,
my buddy AJ, who goes by Vault Boy, he's gonna love seeing this deck in action.
but congrats on taking it to turn 12. I can tell you this doesn't happen a lot.
Well, I guess I have a little shred of dignity, but that was
Definitely, definitely.
it's a great deck. Like the way I can see you understand your deck very well based on certain things you do. Like you consistently did certain things when the opportunities came, and it made complete sense why you would do it. I'm I'm very impressed with this deck. It looks like so much fun to play. And I guess, do you find it difficult sometimes to have the mentality to stop thinking about like, okay, don't worry about control as much, Ember control, just focus on what you know the deck does? Do you find your mind sometimes thinks like, oh, how can I stop them when you shouldn't be thinking about that at times?
Oh, definitely, definitely, because like everybody says that you need to have the amber control, and best players in the world say that. So it's very hard to go against that. Um, like, yeah, I would have a hard time to take this deck to a Vault Tour. For one, because I have a better deck, and two, it has some, like it high rolls most often. It's like it operates in the high roll mode, but it definitely can have some low rolls sometimes. And
Mm,
the longer the tournament, the more sure you can be that you will hit that low roll, and you won't
right,
have the amber control to see you through that. Yeah, so it's a very risky strategy. It's completely different when you take it to the adaptive, right?
right.
Because yeah, if you hit a deck that really counters your deck, you can just outbid them.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
But it's a very fun deck. Adaptive can be a really, really long tournament. So it's good to take something that you just have fun with. And
good point.
it's also, my opponents also always comment that, yeah, it's so much fun. It's just a joy to play.
That's honestly, that's the best part about any KeyForge deck or game, that you have fun doing it. And your deck for sure, I could see that. It's really neat.
And it's
So
not fun if I somehow could have a deck that just wins 100% of the time. Like, it wouldn't be fun at all, would it? Right?
yeah, the struggle is definitely one of the great things about KeyForge, is because when you know there's a chance to lose and you can come back and nothing's guaranteed, it makes it so much more fun.
Yeah. So I'm definitely I'm aware this deck has some weak spots. Yeah.
You welcome it.
Yeah.
So, my very last question I always end with is, if you could be any KeyForge character and it's like your spirit animal, so to speak, what what KeyForge character or card art that's represented would you say is you?
Um, it would have to be the amber spine mongrel.
Okay,
Yeah, I told you my Crucible name. It means wolves in Polish. Yeah,
okay,
so definitely the wolf is my spirit animal.
fantastic. You must have been happy to see it return into mass mutation.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today, Vilki. It was a lot of fun,
It was
very
great.
humbling,
Yeah.
but it was
Thanks for
fun to see
having
this
me.
deck. Yeah, it's always interesting to see a point when you're like, "Wow, I actually can't do anything right now," and be stuck for a few turns like that. So that's fantastic, and I really appreciate having you on. And where can people find you if they want to reach out to you?
Oh, I'm not2night on very many discards, and
Okay,
um, on the Crucible I'm Wilki, which many English speakers pronounce as Wilki, and I wrote the article, which is published on the Can't Touch This Team KeyForge blog, so you can find me there too.
excellent. And I will be sure to put your Discord name in the show notes so people can reach out to you if they want to talk about anything. And as always, everyone, may your amber never be stolen and your keys forged promptly. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too.